Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest and greatest episode of the Lowbot Podcast. I'm Tyler.
I'm Josh.
And it's been another week.
Yeah, it feels like it's been longer.
It has. It's been a long fucking week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shit,
But-
it has been a long week for me.
But we are back at the Bachelor Pad. We are back at the Trap House. We are back at the
Crackden.
the groundswell of the world.
Oh, is that going to be a thing now? Groundswell?
No.
Oh, thank fuck. I usually don't swear much, but that just brought it out of me.
So in the intro we just had
Yeah.
before the real one.
That's it. This is now PG. What is it? Is it you're allowed one swear if it's a PG film?
Really?
I think. Or something. Like
Well, that's fucked. We're M now.
we're M. And then at some point it goes to MA. We're
And
going
then-
for R this time.
That's like full-on wieners.
You go and get your dick out.
That won't be on
This is
YouTube. That'll be
low
the
block.
Patreon content.
Low block
Our
after
OnlyFans
hours.
content where we do it in the nudie. No, we're fully clothed except for our wieners.
Yeah, I saw a video the other day of some dude walking down the street wearing normal clothing, but his dick was out.
Why did you look that up?
It was just on Reddit. Some dude just walking down the street, like it was.
Was he trying to make a statement? Because ladies can't have their nipples out, but men can.
I mean, they can. Anyone can do whatever
They
they
get in
want.
trouble.
It's just... You sound like a toddler, Mum. Why your nipple in trouble? Fucking toddler. One strap and have an ass, motherfucker.
Shut the fuck up. Leave my straps alone. You know I stay strapped.
All right. Well, this is a podcast.
This is a basketball podcast for those who don't know.
for the moment.
For the moment.
Bro, when the season's done.
That's when we start our completely off-topic rambling podcast.
Yep.
Which is AKA everything we do on a Saturday that's not.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Everything that's not basketball related. Because we don't talk about generally basketball outside of the pod anymore.
We've sort of stopped it. You said this when we were going to get food today, that we've halted basketball conversations, and the later we push back the podcast in the day,
the harder it is to communicate with
yeah,
one another. Yeah.
in that drive. So we went to Sunter at Port Adelaide, right?
Yep.
And it's like a 7-minute drive.
Yeah, about that.
I feel like we were silent for most of that drive.
Yeah, it was really just me putting shitty music on and just doing
Wasn't
this for a
shitty.
bit. Some of it was pretty shitty, I'll admit.
But
Not all my music's
I was
great.
just thinking about the pod. I'm like, there's not much I can say. I did spoil one thing, and I wish I didn't.
Yeah, so I think I asked you, like, you got notes for the pod, yeah. You were like, yeah, I got one thing. Kinda.
But I
You
knew
followed
it
up
would
with
lead
kind
into
of.
more. I knew that would lead. It's like it's an open question that would lead into more.
Okay, yeah.
So
So it's not a topic, it's a question. Oh.
no. I said it was like an open question. Should
feels
we
like
get
a-
started then?
Yeah, let's get
So
started.
I want your opinion this week.
You didn't even ask me how I was this week, by the way.
How are you this week, my friend?
I'm pretty good. How are you? So what's your question?
LeBron James
yeah, a bit of a goofball.
this week had a comment
Yeah.
because of the Lakers standing in the West currently.
Pretty doo-doo.
So, LeBron is when he plays D&D, he plays the thief class because every attack he does is a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Last year, he said the play-in tournament was a great idea. Said it helps a lot of these lower teams, and because they were the first seed. Now they're the 6th seed, and they're not playing well. They're looking to drop. They're probably going to drop down, right?
Yes.
And possibly the play-in tournament. And this year, he said whoever came up with this idea should be fired
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty much word for word.
because he's in the tournament now.
Yep.
What a fucking hypocrite. I love LeBron. I think he's a great role model, but I will call him out on his bullshit. I called him out about the China thing when he did it.
Yep.
I was really pissed off. I was annoyed about the vaccine comment, and I'm annoyed about this.
I was going to touch on the vaccine thing as well. Because obviously there's some Lakers talk we got to talk about this week.
Yeah.
We feel like we're being under the microscope a bit. Because
Yeah.
we're a bit of a shit show.
Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, he's always been a bit of a hypocrite. I was shocked when he came out and said the news about, like you said, whoever came up with the play-in tournament should be fired. That's utter crap. You know, I understand he's looking at it from a player's perspective. It's a bit harsh, but from an entertainment standpoint, especially when you've got to consider all the COVID stuff, which has really put a lot on Adam Silver's shoulders. Everyone which is in the league, you know, from janitors, you know, all the way down that
so
ladder.
many jobs at risk.
Everyone's affected by that. And this play-in tournament is a good thing for everyone involved.
Absolutely is.
And it's just very hypocritical and selfish for him to say, not like, you don't have to be a fan of it. All right. He could have come out and said, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's whatever. Cool. You don't have to love it. To say that whoever thought of that idea and put it into play should be fired? No, that's stupid.
Yeah.
That's
His
pretty harsh words.
He knows his words hold a lot of gravity.
Yes. Yep. That's why when he
knows
doesn't
that.
say certain things as well, that's just as important.
Yeah.
Like you said, the whole China thing, him not saying
Anything.
stuff was rough, man.
So I don't want to dwell on it too much because I'm sure every news publication has jumped on it. But I just want to say that's really disappointing and frustrating.
It is.
To be this hypocritical on the topic.
It is.
Because it now affects him.
And it's also disappointing if I'm looking at this as a fan, because if you're a fan, I would say above 90% of the fans love the idea of the play-in tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It is, for the most part, one game elimination, I think, if you're on the bottom bracket.
Yeah.
And that's so exciting. It feels like I'm watching college basketball. One game elimination on to the next one. You've got to bring your A game to that one specific game, most probably two. And that we saw it last year in the bubble. That was just exhilarating.
Yeah.
I loved it. And that's what I think the NBA needs, is a bit of refreshment before it gets to the finals, because there can be that little bit of a lull, early on in the playoffs. So the fans love it. And to have an idol of so many fans come out and just vehemently hate it is just sad to see.
It is. Change is good.
Change is good. Absolutely.
But because it affects him, he doesn't like it.
I've noticed as LeBron's gotten older, he's obviously gotten wiser, but he's also gotten a bit more pissy.
Yeah.
He's just become a little bit of a grumpy old man, which is a bit unfortunate. But he's leading into that as well, something I want to touch on. So the Lakers team, we're obviously dropping down. Our chemistry is a bit in shambles right now. I'm not going to say it's falling apart.
No,
we're going to talk about Indiana later. But in terms of the anti-vax stuff, Dennis Schroeder came out on a German television show, I believe it was, and everything was in German, but someone translated it, saying that it was just him and LeBron that haven't got vaccinated. Everyone else has. And Dennis Schroeder elaborated, saying he just doesn't feel safe putting that, stuff he's unaware of in his body, which is fine, like whatever. But it just sucks that LeBron is, like I said, the idol of the NBA. He's
the poster boy.
He's the poster boy. He is the NBA.
He's the guy.
Whenever we talk about, is LeBron not going to be in the playoffs, is it really the playoffs?
Yeah.
LeBron changes it drastically. And for him to be such an icon in that regard and be so anti-vax, it's just so disappointing.
It really is. It really is.
And I understand, like, I'll just touch on it. I understand why he is, because I had to look at it. I think we discussed this maybe a couple of weeks ago, because that's when we found out he had that weird comment where it was like, that's a personal decision.
Yeah, that's a personal.
And that was the wrong thing to say.
Yeah.
Amongst a pandemic.
Yeah.
That was the wrong thing to say. But there is the history. I think some of the coaches came out and said, growing up as an African American in the States, the government generally works against you.
Yeah.
They don't do things for you.
Yeah.
So it's understandable why so many African Americans question.
And a bit wary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just I would have hoped that with all the knowledge and the money involved and everyone backing LeBron, that he would educate himself.
Make an advised decision.
Yeah. I can't hate him for it. It's just a shame that he's just been a bit grumpy.
It really is. He holds a lot of power,
and
and it doesn't feel like... Most of the time, he's done a lot with his power, but it feels... It means a lot when he makes what I consider to be a misstep.
Yeah.
Or a missaying or not saying anything. So, yeah. Like, I'm with you. It's just disappointing.
Yeah, disappointing. But that's the shitty news.
That's shitty news.
To get it off the bat.
For Lakers. Shitty news for Lakers. Those shitty news, if you're...
You know what I'm excited about, though?
Yep.
So, last year, Lakers were top 2 pick, I would say, for winning the chip. And they were at the start of the year. Obviously, we've fallen down without LeBron, and AD is shooting like under 30% from the field right now. So he's not playing very good at all. But it feels good to be a bit unsure. I wasn't...
Being so sure that you could always be upset. Like, being so sure you're unsure, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because like I wasn't following the NBA back when Shaq and Kobe were a thing. That was before I was a fucking toddler or something, at that point. Well, not a toddler.
Before you were a toddler, dude. It was 2001.
No. 2001, I was 7 years old.
Yep.
Obviously didn't follow the NBA. But it wouldn't have been as fun watching them knowing that we can just win the chip with these two. That's it. And now I'm a bit unsure as to how far we're going to get. We might drop into the play-in tournament. Like you said, now LeBron hates the idea of it because of that. But I'm excited for it. I like not knowing the outcome because it means every game I watch, I'm unsure of.
A dice roll is always interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you roll a dice and every number is 6, what's the point?
Yeah, it's not fun. I want to experience failure, success, and that's what the Lakers are right now. It's in shambles a little bit, but I have faith. But I don't know the outcome, and that's the exciting thing. So amongst all this crap that we just spoke about, as a Lakers fan, I couldn't be happier.
Good.
I'm excited for it.
We'll touch on Indiana because you mentioned I can't stop thinking about it. So for those who don't know, Indiana got rid of their coach at the
So
their off-season?
Yes, in the offseason.
Which he's for the Hawks now. What's his name?
Nate McMillan, isn't
Nate
it?
McMillan.
Yeah,
He's coaching the Hawks right now, and they're doing an amazing job.
Yes.
So Indiana haven't picked a new head coach, but they're going with their assistant coach, who's just filling that
Gregg
voice
Foster.
now. Gregg Foster. And for those who don't know, there was an incident in the game yesterday, 2 days ago, during the week.
It was a couple of days ago.
Where mid-game, their interim coach, assistant coach Gregg Foster got in an argument with one of their players. Very visibly heated argument where he had to be held back by multiple people. It's not a good look.
One of the lines apparently transcripted was telling his player to sit the fuck down. But like that's one thing you see Gregg Popovich do it.
Yeah.
That's one thing. That's just him being Gregg Popovich. You see someone very visibly out of line with Gregg Foster.
And that I don't like to see.
The fact when you have to have people hold you back and you're still pushing
Against
through,
your own damn team.
Pop will say, sit the fuck down.
Yep.
And then that's it.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
not rushing up to
yeah.
him. He's not trying to confront them. He just says, shut the fuck up, sit down, let's
Yeah.
go with the thing. But he looked like he was ready to fight.
Yep. I don't like that.
That's not what you need mid-game.
Yep.
Did you see the TJ Warren stuff as well?
Apparently he announced requested a trade or something.
So yeah, in the off season when who was it?
I can't remember the name of the coach.
Yeah, because
It was someone that has coached TJ Warren previously.
Yeah, at Phoenix.
Yeah.
And they announced he was going to be part of the Indiana Pacers team. TJ
Yeah, sorry,
Warren
it's-
requested a trade
Yeah.
internally.
Yeah.
No, didn't make it public.
Yep.
But the moment that was made, the coaching decision was made, TJ Warren internally requested a trade.
Yep.
So Indiana in shambles a little bit.
They are, and it sucks to see because they've just got Karis LeVert back, and Sabonis is playing the best basketball of his career right now.
Miles Turner
And-
should be back soon.
And it just looks like things should be starting to click. They actually did go up in the standings for a little bit. They're
Yeah.
still under 500, but they were close. And now all of a sudden it just feels like someone pulled out the last Jenga block.
Yeah.
And shit's just tumbled down now.
Why did they get rid of Nate McMillan?
I don't know. Everyone liked Nate McMillan. I think it was a mediocrity thing where
Maybe.
they were good enough to make the playoffs, but they weren't enough. It was like the coach Dwayne Casey.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
okay.
like that situation.
They just had to move on, try something different, and it worked.
Yep.
Nick Nurse ended up being phenomenal. And, I think what the Pacers were doing was fine, but obviously you can't have a coach yell like that. I played a couple sports growing up. Obviously basketball, you and I played that for a bit. I did play for a club for a little bit as well. The coaches were fine. I played gridiron, which is just American football. Coach there, I had a conversation with the coach about that. I was playing cornerback at the time, and he was standing next to me and was like, how do you feel like I am as a coach? I'm like, you're fine. You do a great job. And he's like, his words was something like, I don't ever want to be one of those coaches that get angry at their players and yell at their players. I feel like being a coach, you really have to get everyone on board. And if I'm making people afraid of me, they're not going to want to listen, not going to want to play. And I've remembered that since I've had that conversation. I think that's important. Obviously playing at such a high level of basketball is different, but we see so many positions come in the front office where managing personalities and players and team chemistry is so important. If you're having Gregg Foster come up yelling so angrily at one of his players, telling him to sit the fuck down because he just doesn't like what he's hearing or what he's seeing, that's so unprofessional. It's just disgusting.
People, if your players respect you, they'll jump off a cliff for you.
Yes, yeah. Like you said,
Respect is more powerful than fear.
you just mentioned TJ Warren respected a coach so much he requested a trade from a team of players he's been playing for years. You know, respecting people you play with and play and learn under is so important. We still see those photos of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know, holding his hand of his coach that he grew up
Like
learning
high school
from.
coach. Yeah.
Like that shit never ends. So
yeah.
Greg Foster's got to go. You know, there's no questions about it. If your coach is so unhappy with your players that he's that angry, players aren't going to want to play for him.
And
no.
Like, a lot of people respect Pop, and a lot of players would love to play on the Spurs for a chance to play with Pop. Respect is very hard to earn, especially in the league. So he's never gonna. Greg Foster is sort of, he's dug his own hole.
He's burnt the bridge.
He's burnt bridges, and maybe with more than just the Pacers.
Yep.
We'll
I think
see
so.
how this, like, you know, going forward. You know, time heals all wounds, but he may have burnt that respect bridge.
It's a thing where, you know, I'll compare it to Steve Jobs. I remember watching an interview with one of Steve Jobs' new hire back when he was alive. Apple was booming. It still is, but, you know, it just hit its peak.
Yeah.
And you got this new developer on board to handle specific app integrations. And he was talking about Steve Jobs as a person. Steve Jobs, if you're not aware, absolute nutcase.
Yeah.
One of the
Very kooky, very strange.
One of the strangest, one of the worst people I've ever had the displeasure of hearing about.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs is not a nice person.
No.
And it takes that kind of wackiness and displeasure personality to really get to that point. But
The reason why he got away with it because there were results. And part of Greg Foster not being allowed to get away with this is there's no results. You were so far under 500 throughout this season, still struggling to maintain that little bit below 500. Gregg Popovich is allowed to get away with certain things. He's not Greg Foster. He's not, you know, getting angry at his players' personalities or anything like that. It's just if something doesn't go right, he's frustrated. He's been in the league for over 20 years or whatever. Results matter as well. And I think we've seen so many young coaches come in, and we see Lloyd Pierce. He handled everything perfectly. Didn't hate anyone, didn't get angry at anyone, despite injuries on that Atlanta team. And he was kind of the scapegoat. You know, whether he was a great coach or not, he was the scapegoat.
Yeah.
But yeah, Greg Foster, obviously didn't understand team chemistry, and just maybe too big for his britches, his ego.
Maybe.
I don't know. Just I don't like what I say. I don't like that when that happens.
Yeah. When you see a coach having to be restrained from their own player.
Have you ever played under a coach, which is just,
Like, I played a bunch of different sports growing up: soccer, cricket, basketball, footy. Like, I played everything.
Yeah.
And never had an issue with.
I've seen when I played basketball, we obviously had to visit away games, go to play away games, and I've seen some crazy coaches on the opposing team just screaming at their players.
I mean, I did footy umpiring for a little bit in high school, and I saw some pretty angry coaches.
Yeah, not a fan of it.
Some people like that to an extent, but there's always a limit.
you've got to have a balance.
When I had I had that job interview, that was one of the questions. By the way, career change, exciting.
Hey, congratulations.
Hey, no more
fans. Everyone
logistics.
clap for him.
But one of the questions was like, what's your management style? And as boring as it was, it's a balance.
Yeah.
You can't have someone which is too person-friendly, people-friendly.
Because you get walked over.
You're going to get walked over. There's not going to be any work done. But if you're too adamant on rules and getting and enforcing your opinion across, no one's going to work for you.
No.
It's not a good environment. So
I know we sat on that a bit long, but
there hasn't been something like that in the league for a while.
Yeah.
and it's frustrating because I love Indiana. They're one of my favorite teams, and I love Sabonis. I love Karis LeVert.
It'll be interesting to see what... Like, there's a period of a couple of weeks now where if we don't hear anything, he'll last the season, then he's gone.
Yep.
Or if they're just going to find someone quick as a whip.
Speaking of which, I didn't have this in my notes, but I just remembered. Terry Stotts is on that.
Yeah. We talked about Portland last week, didn't
Last week, yeah, we weren't sure, but then I think usually how it goes after we record the pod.
And then news drops. Yeah.
Terry Stotts is likely going to be let go.
Yeah.
At the end of the season.
Yeah.
Which I think is the right thing.
A change needs to happen. Terry Stotts has been there nearly 10 years. He's had a great run. It's been a mediocrity thing, similar to Dwayne Casey. I like Terry Stotts. I think he's a fine coach. But they have a window, and it doesn't seem like Terry Stotts will be able to get them to the promised land.
Terry Stotts will remain in the league. I think he's a great coach.
He'll find work.
I think what you said, it needs change.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
Get the best out of Dame while you've got him in his prime right now.
Terry Stotts proven to be a good people coach. He's all right with X's and O's.
Yep.
He can make a good team, but we don't know if he can make a great team.
Yep.
I don't know who they're going to find in that spot.
I don't know. But the league's done a good job of just throwing new coaches in, and it works out. Obviously, you've got your Boylan and stuff, which don't work. Your Beeline don't work out at all. They're just crap. But you've got, younger coaches which just work. Brad Stevens.
He's like the prime example of you give this guy a chance and he's proven.
People were talking...
Spoelstra as well.
People were talking crap on Vogel. He was a great coach for Indiana.
Yeah, he was
a phenomenal
coach for years.
And then he wasn't coaching for a while. And then it was announced he'd be the head coach of the Lakers.
He was a coach in Cleveland back in 2006. He was on the coaching staff.
He's been around for a while. Still young.
Yeah.
But he's been around for a while, but very successful.
Yeah, this is his first second head coaching gig, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, it was Indiana and now it's LA. And he's great.
Yeah.
He's a great coach.
Luke Walton has had not much success. He keeps getting chances. This might be his last one. I think he's probably gone here.
I think so.
But you got to try.
Yeah.
If you don't offer new coaches positions, then you're gonna the talent pool will run thin very quickly.
Yeah.
Eventually they're just gonna stop.
Yeah. You've got to. Yeah. I applaud.
Sometimes swinging and missing is always better than not swinging at all.
Yeah. Got to take that chance.
And I applaud front offices which are willing to take that chance.
Yes, absolutely.
I want to see him mix it up, like Steve Nash being head coach of Brooklyn.
Hell yeah. Go for it.
Yeah.
I had no idea what to expect.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's working out perfectly.
Yeah, perfectly.
I love it. But yeah, Terry Stotts is, if my money's on it, I pretty much guarantee he's not going to be there unless they make such a deep run where it changes that drastically. But I don't see it happening with how far they've fallen. They've remained in the low 30s for so long this season.
Yeah.
I really, when I initially mentioned to you weeks ago on this pod that my MVP pick at the time was Damian Lillard.
They've who I was shit the bed since then.
They have not budged at all.
Yeah.
They've not gone. It's like they just keep winning, losing.
Yeah.
That's not good enough.
So that's why I ended up giving it to Jokic for MVP. Like I said, last episode, it's done.
The race is over. Beat, boys.
Yep. But Terry Stotts will go.
Yeah.
That's my
prediction.
You've heard it here first.
Oh, you've heard it here first. beat, boys. Terry Stotts is gone.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a quick question for you.
Hit me.
Before we started recording, I was smacking my lips to make a weird noise against the mic. And you said, oh, that's reminding me of a topic.
Yeah. So, I think it was Marv Albert. Was it? He's one of the the announcers, commentators, whatever you want to call it. Usually does a great job.
Yeah.
A fan of it.
Did a great job for years.
Yeah. Years and years and years. So, he was commentating a recent game, I believe it was him. And there was, I think it was a Celtics game. And he was talking about, I think Tatum had the ball and he was making his plays. And I'm just paraphrasing, but this is what it was like. It was like, and Tatum dribbling, takes the shot. Just so, and someone phrased it really well. It felt like we were listening to Marv Albert doing live commentary while eating out his wife. That's what it sounded like. It was spot on. And it was so gross. I've saved the clip. I'll show you after the pod. But it sounds so gross.
That sounds really
That's what
gross.
I mean. It was relevant to your
No, yeah,
smacking
it
a lip
actually
sound.
really was.
Yeah, you looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah, I know I did because... yeah.
So
Just a quick topic. We're definitely not dwelling on that.
No, but that... this week's been a weird week. And let's throw Marv Albert on top of that before he's on top of his wife.
Let's change subjects. What's the next topic?
Some drastic news, which I'm very unfortunate about because
Breaking news!
he's out indefinitely, Zion Williamson. Fractured his finger.
When was this?
I think it was this morning.
I missed it.
Fractured his finger.
What happened?
I haven't had time.
It's
to
probably
look
just
at,
a
no,
practice
it was in a game.
Oh, shit.
I know David Griffin has come out and is accusing the refs of it being their issue. The reason why is because Zion was getting hacker-shacked.
Yeah.
It is what it is. He's unstoppable, so you've got to put some rules around him.
Yep.
So I don't blame the league for doing so. But David Griffin, obviously, he wants to come out strong and he wants to defend his players.
Yep.
But apparently something happened I haven't had time to really watch too much of it, but he has fractured his fingers. He's been listed as out indefinitely, which is really unfortunate to see. Not the worst. Knee issues are the one thing I worry about with Zion.
Yeah.
Thank God.
That's
it's
the
not a
big
knee
killer.
issue.
Anything from like the knee and lower is scary. With
So,
basketball players.
despite being out indefinitely, it's just a fractured finger. So I'm happy
Give
with
him
that.
time.
Give him time. It's just disappointing because New Orleans look like they're on their shit right now.
Yeah.
They are so close to San Antonio. They were really making San Antonio sweat once again. But now with Zion out, who is by far their best player, the efficient scorer is probably only behind Steph Curry, really, at that volume.
Yeah.
Just sucks to see this close towards the playoffs.
He had to go out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough. It is rough.
It's rough. It's just like Jamal Murray going out this late.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
Unless, this is it. Lonzo, 30 points a game.
Lonzo's been playing well,
He
man.
has. Did you see him like launch that three from the corner and talk shit to Draymond? I love those too.
You know Draymond loves that shit, though.
Yeah, he loves that shit.
So people look at Draymond and it's like he's someone which will talk a lot of shit and then get shitty if you talk shit back. Nah. Draymond wants the shit.
He wants it, yeah.
If Draymond's the kind of guy, if he talks shit to you and you don't talk shit back, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
He's not going to respect you.
It's just fun.
Draymond loves that energy.
Whenever we play 2K, I am talking shit. 24/7. I want that back. I'm clapping because I'm enjoying it, but you never get it. And I'm just sitting
you
there.
Know why? Because I fucking suck at 2K now. I can't play 2K21 to save my life.
You were by far the best out of the three of us for 10 years.
And I can't play 2K21.
Every other 2K. And like, it wasn't close. At halftime, it might be close, but you were always like third quarter, you smashed us.
Can't do it.
And I was the worst. 2K21 comes out and we are slaughtering you.
Yeah.
I'm slaughtering you.
I can't do it. I don't know what it is. So I can't like talk smack. I can't talk smack while being down, especially.
But even in old games, I would talk shit. I would.
Yeah, but I'm
and Adam would
whooping
get
you.
so mad.
But I'm whooping you.
Adam, you'd get so mad. I would talk all the shit in the world.
I'm going about the Tim Duncan route. You know, just say a couple words here and there, walk away with a W.
Okay.
All right. But I
No
can't.
more W's for you, old man.
I'm
the
not getting a
future is
single
me.
one.
But yeah, no, I'm not winning shit right now. So I'm obviously not going to talk shit if I can't win shit. But Draymond, love him. I don't know how we got on to Draymond, but love you, buddy. Come on the
Lonzo.
pod.
We talked about Lonzo, and from Lonzo was Zion.
We'll probably go to New York. That's what he said.
I hope not.
So
I hope
who
not.
knows? I want to see him stay in New Orleans, but it just
He seems like a big city kid.
because Zion is their best player, and they were so close.
rough. That's
so
rough.
close. They still might. Brendan Ingram. Who knows what we're going to get?
But it's likelihood it's dropped.
Yep.
If you're a betting man, you wouldn't bet on them from now.
So you look at where New Orleans are in the West.
Yeah.
Then you look at who is in that spot in the East.
Yeah.
You know who it is?
Who is it?
Washington Wizards.
Yeah.
They are, holy crap, they're fun to watch again. I said this at the start of this season of this pod, season 2 of this pod. What are the Washington Wizards? You couldn't answer me.
What are they?
The world couldn't answer me.
What are they?
They are a team led by prime Russell Westbrook. When Russell Westbrook is not playing with injuries, this is a playoff team. Russell Westbrook, every fucking game I watch is a triple-double.
Yeah.
Every fucking game.
You see, Oscar Robertson came out like 2 days ago and said, I want him to break my triple-double record.
Good.
And he probably will soon.
Yeah, next game, probably. Russell Westbrook is insane. I have to touch on Steph as well because I've got to talk about a record.
Every week, Steph.
He is insane.
I know.
But Russell Westbrook, I need to take a segment. I'm doing a Russell Westbrook pod. Tune in.
He
is just insane. Like, out of nowhere. He went from start of this year to, he's washed.
He takes it, he ebb and flows once he gets comfortable.
Apparently, he was dealing with a quad injury.
Yep.
Apparently, he shouldn't even been playing, but Russell Westbrook's being Russell Westbrook.
You're gonna tell Russ he can't play.
It's not a Klay Thompson, right? Where you can tell Klay what to do.
Yeah, no.
Russell Westbrook's like, no, I'm playing.
Like the only way, it was like, how they used to hide Iverson's jersey when they didn't want him to play? You got to hide all 6 of Russ's jerseys got hidden throughout the locker room.
Yeah. But it's nuts what he's doing. It's truly one of the best point guards we're ever going to see.
Yeah.
And it disappoints me that we have so many people talking shit about him. I know we have people that take LeBron for granted. You generally don't have people talking too much shit about LeBron. He's too damn good to talk shit at this point.
Yeah.
He's a consensus top 2 player of all time. Some say him the greatest, some say he's the second greatest.
Yeah.
That's the consensus. But with Westbrook, it's just, oh no, he's not that great.
Yeah.
His stats don't mean anything.
Empty stats.
bullshit.
All I hear is empty stats.
I get so angry.
Russ is very good at
Westbrook
basketball.
is one of the best players, not just point guards, players I'm ever going to see in my lifetime.
He's the best high pace guard.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like he goes 90 and he's making decisions at a very fast pace. He's one of the best at it.
Absolutely. It's so hard to come up with a scheme going against a Russell Westbrook led team because you don't know what he's going to do. Half the time it doesn't look like Westbrook knows what he's going to do. Halfway through driving, he decides what he wants to do. Who knows? It's like those freaking anime arcs where it's like, I can read your mind, and then it's always, I guess I just got to go about this without thinking. That's Westbrook halfway through the drive.
Yeah.
But I want people to.
There's a Simpsons episode where I can read your thoughts, Homer, and Homer's like doo 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 doo. And it's the same thing. I can read your thoughts, Westbrook. Doo 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 doo. There's nothing going on.
It's like
but he's just
it's like you got LeBron guarding the perimeter, all right? And he's like, all right, so I've read the scouting report. I've played against this guy 50 times.
He goes left with left hand.
Goes
cross,
left
pass
hand.
out.
Has the Euro step at his ability. The shooter on the wing there, he definitely kick it out. And then it cuts to a scene of Westbrook's head, and it's just
Basketball go brrr.
Shit, I don't know.
How quickly can I get to the court? I can get from one side to the other pretty quickly.
I'm pretty quick, right? And then by the time this is all going on, he's already at the
He's
rim.
at the rim.
He's at the rim.
I guess I am pretty quick.
I love Westbrook, man. And that's why I think I love watching him so much, because I've just realized it's chaos, but it works.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously not going to say he's going to lead anyone to the championship. No, that's too much of a stretch.
Yeah.
But damn, he's just so good.
He's the king of the chaos.
He is a floor raiser.
Yeah.
If you have him leading the charge, your team's going to be better. You might
Absolutely.
make the playoffs.
He's not a great ceiling raiser,
No.
but he's a great floor raiser.
Yeah, he's one of those rare cases where he actually might bring the ceiling down depending on the team.
Yeah.
But he's absolutely floor raiser. And it feels good that, like, when he got his consecutive season with the triple doubles, everyone was sick of it.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand, but everyone was sick of it. Now he's doing it again. He could go the rest of the season averaging 0-0-0 and he'd still average a triple double. It's insane. But now it feels like everyone's like, yeah, it's been years and no one's still been able to do this.
Yeah. Even though triple doubles are more common, he's still doing it more than anyone.
Because we look at someone like Luka, and I know a lot of people may disagree. I think Luka's a phenomenal player. He could be one of the best international players ever. But a lot of his stats, same thing with Trae Young, a lot of his stats do come into effect because of the pace of the game, the rule changes in the game. They really adhere to these younger run and gun guys. So whilst Luka is great now, if we were to pop him in 10, 15 years ago, his stats aren't going to be what they are today. That's what I'm comfortable saying, which is no knock if he's still going to be a freaking superstar 10, 15 years ago. It's just going to look different.
His numbers will be adjusted.
Yeah. And we see a lot of other players, like we see Bradley Beal average 40 points over a stretch. Like we see these high-scoring guards and wings
Which
now be able to
wouldn't
do that.
happen
Wouldn't happen 10,
10
15 years ago.
And no, we're not saying that players were better back then. No,
no.
the points are different. Points adjusted.
It's
It's inflation.
adjusted.
It's inflation.
It's exactly what it is. But what Westbrook does, no one has been able to do the same thing. We see Jokic get triple-doubles. I think he's got the record for the quickest triple-double in a game
It's like
in
first
history.
quarter.
But no one can replicate what Westbrook does. He is the best rebounding guard, the best passing guard, and the best scoring guard if you put them all in one.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. And I just wanted to touch on that because I don't see other guards doing this.
No.
I just don't. And what he does not account for the pace of the league, the change of the league. He is so unique. He is one of a kind. And it sucks that I don't get to see him in OKC. I just feel like he was my favorite player at OKC, after Kobe retired. And
He's the heart of that team.
it feels weird. I'm sure he'll go back at some point.
There are players where you associate him with that, and the fans will always love that thing.
Yeah.
Westbrook will always be loved in OKC, and he'll always love OKC.
You know the OKC fans are cheering on Washington.
I know that Harden is loved in Houston, and he'll always be loved in Houston. And it's Kobe LA. LeBron and Cleveland have a bit of a mixed history, but you know what I mean? There's some names that are synonymous with cities, and they'll always be loved by that city.
Can I ask you a question? With Denver, do you guys love Melo?
A lot of fans do not.
That's what I thought.
Because he forced his way out.
Yeah.
I still love him, but a lot of fans really don't like him because he forces his way
It's
out.
disappointing when you think about Melo's career because he doesn't have a team that loves him like that.
No.
New York don't love him like that. Denver don't love him like that, and he's going to go between teams for the rest of his career.
I think he'll finish it in Portland,
Yeah.
but there'll be a bunch of Denver fans that hated him. But the moment he retires, they're like, "Oh, that Melo,
Yeah.
our Melo."
It's like when
He's our greatest player ever.
when any when any celebrity passes away, that really makes people reflect on their artistry.
You know, and especially music artists in particular. And it's the same thing with when players retire. It really makes you reflect on their greatness and how great they really were. It's easy to get caught up in the moment and want to, piece apart their stats and slander them or whatnot, which I've tried not to do too much unless you're the Timberwolves. But everything else,
Or you're Aaron Gordon.
Yeah, look, I've stopped since you guys got Aaron Gordon. I've stopped. I've not said a single slanderous thing.
He's playing pretty well.
He's playing.
Stats aren't
He's
amazing.
doing very Aaron Gordon things. Take that how you will.
He's playing better.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Oh, yeah,
He's filling into the role we're giving him.
yeah. Which is what?
You're going to play defense and you're going to cut, and that's it.
Yep.
You're not fucking shooting, Aaron.
Jeez, you sound like Greg Foster.
Denver don't have that. A lot of fans dislike Melo.
Yeah.
They say, oh, he's not even our best player ever. It was Alex English. It was David Thompson. No, Melo's the best player ever.
Do you see? I'll touch on something and then I'll ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have to touch on Steph. Month of April.
Oh, I just want to say Melo just is now the 10th scorer of all
Yes.
time.
Top 10.
I want to just run
Insane.
the Melo topic. That's nuts.
People have forgotten Melo's
How good
peak.
he is. Yeah.
Melo is, and I still stand by it to this day, one of the best scorers I've ever seen.
Top five.
And it's going to be, I think you just lock that in because we don't see guys post up anymore.
Yeah.
We just don't, unless you're Joel Embiid, really.
Yeah,
and Jokic to an extent.
Yeah.
But we don't see small forwards do that. It's definitely not power forwards. We got guys like Giannis that just drive because they're
Yeah.
big enough to. Melo was a 3-point shooter, mid-range shooter, could drive, could post up, amazing post-up play. Did everything, was athletic enough to drive and dunk. Everything. And that's very reminiscent of what KD can do. People praise KD as being such an elite scorer. That's just Melo, except Melo's what, 6'8"?
Yeah.
Like, really, KD is just a bigger Melo.
I mean, why do you think they're my two favorites? Right? Sorry, you were saying month of something.
April. Do you know how many points Steph Curry averaged?
6?
Give me a real answer.
36.
37. Very close.
Close.
True shooting percentage.
Ooh, 4.
God damn, you're insufferable.
70%.
71.
I'm
You're
really
really close.
one below the belt.
Month of April, 37 points per game, 71% true shooting percentage. Now, bear in mind, when I was doing true shooting field goal percentage throughout the years, I was just doing a bit of research. Generally, around 50%,
Yeah.
53% maybe, 71% as a volume 3-point shooter.
Look, when Steph gets hot,
This is, oh my God. So I want, that's insane. We're seeing a legendary year once again from Steph Curry. Do you think Steph Curry will ever leave Golden State?
no.
No?
No.
Because we said the same thing about Russell Westbrook.
This is it.
Yeah?
Steph staying in Golden State.
Okay.
As long as Clay and Draymond are there.
I
And
can
as long
see
as they're-
Draymond being moved. And I can see Steph moving at some point if they don't give him everything he wants.
Why wouldn't they?
Shit changes, man. Shit just changes.
Maybe in like the last 2 years of his career, like Tony Parker left to go to Charlotte.
That's what I mean. Do you see a Tony Parker situation?
I think even at the end of his career, like a year left, they'll still give him whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. I hope so.
I don't think he
'Cause it's
he could say I want a 4-year max deal and I'm not playing game, and they'll say yes, Steph.
No.
Yes, thank you, sir.
You're delusional.
Because he'll make all that money back in jersey sales.
You're delusional.
But no, you know what I mean.
No
Not
way.
exactly, but like he can get anything he wants.
What's the last player to do that? Because LeBron doesn't count. He hasn't done
Kobe.
it. So that was
Tim
what,
Duncan.
10 years ago?
2016. 10 years ago, 2016, Kobe retired.
But he was under contract for a while for that.
Tim Duncan.
Okay. So we've got, yeah, all right.
There's not many guys staying at one franchise for the whole career, but it does.
I'm just trying to think of teams that have gone out of their way to give everything they have to a player specifically. I think you're right. Oh, maybe not. Nah, I wouldn't count Tim Duncan because Tim Duncan was still really fucking good.
Yeah.
Kobe, not so much. Kobe was good, but he wasn't Kobe.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan was still
But
really
if
fucking
Kobe
good.
said, I want to play an extra 4 years, they would have signed him.
I don't know.
You don't think?
I don't know. I feel like management was at a weird point 10 years ago. And like I said, it's 2016, so that's only 5.
You keep saying 10 years.
Yeah, I know. So like 5 years ago, obviously that's within the decade.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like management started getting to a weird spot where they weren't so player first, if that makes sense. And we're starting to see that now. Like especially with the Blake Griffin thing. We just see players which we never thought would get moved and they get moved in an instant.
And I don't see Golden State ever getting rid of Steph, but I see,
For whatever reason, I see Steph leaving at some point for like a year or two to like, I'm just going to go play here. Like people forget Michael Jordan left
Yeah, he went to the Wizards.
to play with Washington.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me. And for some reason, I'll wake up at night and I'll be like, yeah, Steph's going somewhere else.
You wake up.
Steph!
You look at
Come
Nori
back!
Nori's like, what is happening? You're like, Steph, he's leaving. You've had a premonition. I don't, look, as long as Golden State keep Draymond or Clay and try to be
Do you
competitive.
think they're keeping Draymond?
I said Draymond or Clay.
I think
if they,
man, we've really been robbed
If
2
they-
years of Clay, right?
yeah, if they get rid of Draymond or Clay, they're not looking to be competitive.
Yep.
Like, it's that simple.
Yep.
Unless you're getting like Embiid for Draymond, you're giving up.
I can see Philly moving.
And if
off
you're
of-
giving up, Clay's leaving.
Yeah, I can see Philly moving off of Draymond, off Embiid if Embiid keeps having injury issues. Every year there's an
Yeah.
injury issue, which is unfortunate. Obviously, we love Embiid. His personality and his effort on the court is just immeasurable. But I can see it happening. Maybe that's, it might happen.
That's
Between you and I,
Between you and
Embiid
you.
to Golden State. There's
There's already been people saying that years ago. It's like, Embiid to Golden
To be fair,
State,
if
make
we-
the trade.
If we look back at all the rumors, like we went through, there's a magazine over there, you guys can't see it. I think it's called Buckets, and you were going through the mock draft. Go get it.
it was insane.
If you can you find the page?
mock draft. Just
It was the mock draft for, what is it, 2010?
2011.
All right, so 2010, 2011.
2010.
And it was the wackiest stuff. It was the
The year where KD was, no, it wasn't.
He was 2012 MVP.
Yeah.
So this is going before his MVP season. This is
for-
Buckets magazine, and on the back it has a promo picture for 2K11.
So this is a draft for everyone in the league, right?
Fantasy
you had to
experts tell you
redraft.
that late rounds, yeah, this is a fantasy draft. If you were to redo the league, what order would they go in? So this is a
this is
mini mock draft.
2010.
Yeah,
All the players in the league in 2010.
I'm wondering if there was like a name to watch here. They've got some steer clears. I want to review this. It's actually a really good thing you brought up.
We'll end it on this.
Yeah, this
Let's
is
go.
by Anton Trees.
Also talking to the mic.
This is by Anton
move it.
Trees.
You can move it.
No, I can't. Like, that's it.
Oh, you can't. Sorry.
This is by Anton Trees.
Looks so
So
awkward.
the mini mock draft, if they were to redo the draft again, number 1 pick, they pick Kevin Durant.
Okay. This is in 2010.
2010. Number 2, from the New Orleans Hornets, Chris Paul.
Okay.
And number 3, LeBron James.
That's the weirdest thing to me. They took KD and Chris Paul over LeBron James in 2010. This is the entire league. That's the
Yeah.
weirdest thing. There's still more, which I want to go through because there are names I've forgotten about.
Number 4, from the Orlando Magic, Dwight Howard. This is Defensive Player of the Year, Dwight Howard.
Dwight was a beast in 2010.
Number 5, Dirk Nowitzki.
On his shit.
Yep.
On his shit.
Number 6, from the Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade.
Yep. Respectable.
Number 7, from the Indiana Pacers, Danny Granger.
My biggest boy, I love Danny Granger, but that is weird.
7.
That is weird.
Now, if you're
Out of the
thinking,
entire league.
there's a couple names that haven't been set out. Like number 8 from the LA Lakers, Kobe Bryant. Kobe going 8th in a 2010 draft?
Still top 10. Under Danny Granger.
Under Danny Granger. So, number 9 from the Utah Jazz, Darren Williams.
So people forget him and Chris Paul were the best point guards in the league at one point.
Darren Williams, Chris Paul, Tony Parker.
Yep.
They were like, oh, these guys are fucking incredible.
Yep. incredible.
Incredible.
And then all of a sudden,
People forget about how good Tony Parker fucking was.
he was, I think, third in MVP voting in one of his years. He was
So
insane.
Fucking talented. He's so well rounded.
Yeah.
Despite being like 6'1", he's an amazing defender.
Yep.
Okay, we've got a number 10. I keep banging the mic.
That's all right.
From the New Jersey Nets, Brook Lopez.
So weird. Top 10 out of the entire league, redrafting. Brook Lopez.
Here it
number
is.
10.
Here's his little blurb about Brook Lopez. He's big, he's efficient, he's young, and his team is a little better. Everything looks good for Brook, who averaged 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks last year.
So he's number 10.
Number
And
11.
His little blurb was, makes him a little bit better. He's efficient. Give me the next 10.
11, Steph Curry. Number 12, Josh Smith.
Horrible.
Number 13, Pau Gasol.
Horrible.
Number 14, Gerald Wallace.
Horrible.
15, Carmelo Anthony.
Okay.
Denver, Carmelo.
Yeah, that's-
right.
yeah,
This
that's-
is
I don't know,
prime
that's good,
scoring
yeah.
monster. 16, Brandon Roy.
Okay.
17, Steve Nash.
Okay.
18, Rajon Rondo. 19, Russell Westbrook. So this is his sophomore year, Russ. Number 20, Jason Kidd.
Okay. So
Now-
when I say horrible, by the way, I don't mean they're horrible players. It's just I feel
The
like
order.
there are other players that order's messed up.
Oh, it was fucked up.
So weird. So that's from 2010. That's just a little hidden gem I had laying around.
So there's some other things here.
Yep.
Steer clear. There are 3 names on here.
To steer clear of. Oh my God, him. You didn't mention this last time.
I didn't see it. John Salmons from the Milwaukee Bucks. John Salmons? Salmons?
Who?
You don't even remember him.
Who?
He wore like a headband, had a goatee. I'm reading this like I'm reading the newspaper.
See the man that
New-
murdered someone?
John Salmons?
No, I'm thinking of John Johnson or something.
Joe Johnson.
No, not Joe Johnson.
Another steer clear from the New Jersey Jets. New Jersey Nets. Derek Favors.
Oh, they did my boy like that, huh?
Still in the league.
Yeah.
And
still
then
good.
Chris Bosh.
Oh, I mean, to be fair, did go out of the league due to a health
Bosh
issue.
went buck wild last season, averaging 24 points, 11 boards with fantastic percentages to boot. Now is the third offensive option in a team with 2 super duper stars and a very serviceable selection of role players. Bosh will remain useful, but certainly won't be the force we expected him to be in Canada.
And that's a detriment?
Apparently. There to what? 3 to watch. KD, Darren Collison, and Steph Curry.
Darren Collison!
Because this is off of... this is when he looked like a star.
I love 2010. Just
And
a
then
bunch of my boys.
Here's 3 sleepers.
Ooh.
Nicholas Batum. It was 2010. He looked great. This is 2010. He looked great.
Nicholas, oh, I love it.
Yao Ming and DeMarcus Cousins. 2010, everyone.
So this is just a little thing. If you any basketball article for that matter, if it's not talking about analytics, it's not gonna matter.
Grain of salt.
It's this shit's not gonna matter. Like that's hilarious. Looking back at that 10 years later, that's hilarious.
Josh Smith.
I love Josh Smith, but
We both love him, but
man, he was taken so high.
yeah.
All right, old man. Put the magazine down. We can wrap it up. You've really just thrown my shit around.
Sorry, I actually
10
really like
years
that.
old.
I think that was really cool. That's a gem. You should keep that. We'll review that
If you haven't broke it, Jesus.
next 10 years, in 10 years' time.
We'll redo it.
2030.
If we're still doing this
That's
pod
genuinely, yeah.
in 10 years...
We'll be big. We'll be doing shows.
Oh, I thought you meant like fat. I will be big in 10
Possibly.
years, let's be honest. I'm big now. I'm big, man. I will be bigger.
I'm ending this damn podcast. If you've made it this far, thank you very, 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 very much. It's a favorite part of our week, every week. If you notice we don't have our mugs, it's because I have iced coffee and he didn't want a mug.
It's over there. I
It's
remember...
empty, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's still got water from last episode.
Because he doesn't drink his water. And
I drink water
most of my
I don't drink room temperature water.
I got you cold water last week. You didn't touch it.
I did. I took a little sip. What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
I told you what I want. I want you to drink the fucking water.
I'll just have a fucking water next time. End the show.
We are on every platform imaginable. If you're watching this on YouTube, guess what? Hello, we're on YouTube. If you're not, we're on Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, Breaker, Last FM, Groove Shark,
Non-stop Pop FM.
Non-stop pop. Last FM. We're everywhere.
Everywhere, we out there.
Like, rate, subscribe, tell your friends. We're on Facebook, Insta, Bebo, MySpace, Facebook. We're not actually on Bebo.
Oh, yeah.
Tumblr.
It's one of those obscure names that I'm actually not familiar with.
Yeah, Bebo.
Yeah, Bebo. What is Bebo?
It was like MySpace.
Let the people know. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was like MySpace before MySpace took off. It was like, oh, get your Bebo page. Somewhere between MySpace and Tumblr.
Oh, Tumblr's a shit show.
Yeah. Apparently it's still around.
Yeah, they just took all the porn off.
Boo.
Yeah, I know, right?
Boo. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. He's laughing. Bye. Love you. Bye.